Hello, hello, hello. Well, there's good news tonight. It's the 25th of November, 2024, and fresh off some amazing calls, it's Norm Winski back with us again. Norm, the floor is yours.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for having me on, Jeff. And we're doing this Monday afternoon on November 25. I was last on your show on November 11 and gave a 5 cycle forecast. We had 5 events coming up then. And let's see, the first one was Saturn in Pisces was turning direct on the night of the 14th. AC is after the close. The planets don't go home at 5 o'clock. They're 24/7, so they're doing stuff overnight. And then we look for the turn in that market the next morning, near the opening. So, okay, we'll be getting to the charts here in a moment. Saturn is coffee and Pisces is oil. Then the night of the 15th that was a weekend, into Monday the 18th, we had a full moon in the sign of Taurus the bull. Anytime we have a full moon, new moon, we want to look at financials, grains, precious metal, oil, and because it's in Taurus, we're running a special on cattle and cotton. Then also that weekend, notice we have 3 things that weekend. I called it the triple whammy change in trend weekend. We had a Mercury cycle, and that's corn, soybeans, wheat. And then we also had the Uranus cycle Uranus is in the sign of Taurus. So that brings in cattle and cotton, and Uranus is copper. The night of the 19th, that was, I think, a Tuesday night. Let me check my calendar. That's correct, Tuesday night. So we're looking at the morning of the 20th. Jupiter changed signs. It happened very often. Pluto is a very slow, big cycle, and so it only changes signs usually. Well, we're in a period now where it's flip-flopping back and forth from the point of view of the Earth. But I think this might be the last time it goes into Aquarius for a long time. And then we have cattle, cocoa, copper, corn, cotton, gold, hog, sugar, tea, bonds, wheat. And by the way, if you'd like any help with any of these terms, give me a call. I'll give you a free class. I'm running a holiday special, free. If you mention Jeff, it's all free with a money-back guarantee. That's a joke, okay? All right, so here we have corn. And we have 3 points for corn. We had the triple whammy weekend. It had two of the 3 points over the 15th weekend for corn. And although it was the day before that high, or even actually that high was the high, it didn't work the way we like. So counted that as 2 misses. It did pull back here into the 20th, morning of the 20th on Pluto. And so you had a short-term low there, and you had a chance to make some money. Here's soybeans, did better rally into our triple whammy weekend there with the 2 points. It was Mercury and the moon, and you made just a slightly higher high the next day, and then down, down, down. So that was a 2 points winner, 2-point winner. Wheat on the same window, it didn't care. And so it just kept going up, and so we got 2 misses there for wheat. And then if you sold against that high there, you had a chance to make a little bit of money on the wheat. Here's cattle was really good. Remember we had the 2 things affecting the sign Taurus, the bull, and the cattle went down, down, down into there. And if you bought on the on the moon in Taurus, then you caught that low there, and it was up, up, up. That's about, I believe, 4 handles is about, every handle is $400, so that's about $1,600. And then it pulled back about a handle and a half there, so you had a chance to make some more money. Cotton is in the same category as cattle, and it did somewhat similar, but it made a double bottom here, straddled the 19th, so the day before the low and the day after the low, and if you got long there, you would have been very happy. Every handle in cotton is $500. So that was quite a bit. You had about, 60, let me look at the numbers there, 68, 66.50 up to 71. That's 5 handles, about $2,500, okay? Coffee, it doesn't look like very much there, but because coffee has made such a big move, the bars are squished down and made smaller due to scaling. That's a 10-cent move right there, 10 cents down. And so that's every penny in coffee is $375. So, and then if you bought there, it went up 15 cents or 15 handles. That's about 5 grand in about a day. So there we go. That was a good one. Sugar, if you sold against there, you dropped about 80 cents, and that's about $1,000. Here's cocoa. If you sold there, you dropped about, oh, cocoa's crazy. I don't know, 600 times the old usage. For years, it traded right around 2,000, and last year it went crazy and went to 12,000, and now we're trading in the eights, and it dropped about, it's 86 down to 83, about 300. That's $3,000. They're about 300 points, you know. All right, here's hogs. We're pretty nice. You caught that low there. You bought against that low there on our Pluto point, and it went up for, let's see, that's about 70 and a half to 81, 87. Oh, about 2 handles there. That's about $800. Here's crude oil. This is pretty nice. If you sold there on the moon, oh no, that's not the moon. I take it back. That's Saturn in Pisces. Pisces is oil. Turn direct. That's the opposite of retrograde. If you sold there in that little rally, then it dropped about 2-3 handles. Let's see, 68.50. That's 2 handles, 2 grand. And then even better, if you went long on the moon, on the full moon, then it went up about 3 handles there. I think this is 66.50 up to 69.50. Almost immediately, you had 3 handles, which you might know that is $3,000. Here's copper. It was pretty good. You pulled back into the we had the Pluto. Let's see, that's Uranus, I guess. Oh, the Uranus point right there, and then it rallied up into our Pluto point, and that was every penny in copper is $250. I think you had about a 10-cent movement. Let me check that. It's even bigger, 12 cents. That's about I think 2 grand. And then we dropped about, if you sold there and you dropped a little bit less, you made 17 down to 08, about 9. That's about I guess about $1,500 or maybe a little less, something like that. All right, here's silver going sideways. We do nothing if it's sideways. That's a yellow box, so that's a pass. Here's gold going sideways. We do nothing there. And then we had a point over here, the Pluto point for gold, and it just kept going, so that was a miss. But the S&P was pretty good. We did 4 out of 5 here. We had this one point here, our Saturn in Pisces go direct, that it kept dropping, and so we're going, and that was a pretty big drawdown. So we're counting that as a miss. But here we had the triple whammy weekend, and that's 3 points. And you can see if you bought there, you know the bars are kind of squished. So, but you made about 60 up to about 60 handles. So that's a pretty good move in there in the S&P. And then if you sold here, you had a chance to, I think, about 80 handles there. And so that's some pretty good money there in the S&P. And here's the T-bond sideways, nothing there. We pass. And this is kind of confusing here. We'd be looking once it rallied into the Pluto point, but then it pulled back on the opening. And so you're back in the middle or lower part of the bar, and that's not a good entry, so we pass there. Dollar going sideways, we pass. Some of the currencies were really good. There's the Aussie dollar right on the moon. You're right near the bottom there, right under the lows, and it rallied up, up, up. Here's the British pound, had a nice pullback low there on the moon. Canadian dollar was maybe one of the best, right on the lows there for the Canadian dollar, just on the moon. This is really simple stuff, you know. You can, nothing complicated here. Matter of fact, I tell everybody that there's nothing here over a 5th grade level, so you can do this if you just give me a call. All right, we're going sideways there, and then we do nothing in the euro. Yen rallied into the moon, and so you made a little short-term top there. You had a chance to make a little day trade scalp. If you add up all the arrows, green arrows, red arrows, you had 24 winners, 6 misses, out of 30 for 80% winners. And here's what's coming up. So tonight, this is the 25th, AC after the close. Tonight, Mercury in Sagittarius will turn retrograde, and that's specifically the grains, but also keep in mind that the stocks potentially respond to all these events. So I don't I don't bother writing stocks for everything. It would be just repetitive. Just assume everything applies to the stock market. Then next weekend, we have a new moon in Sagittarius, and we'll be looking at financials, range precious metals, soybeans, and oil. And here's the overriding rule. You want to find markets that are at an extreme. These are designated markets here. Ideally, if they're at an extreme, there's about a 75% chance they'll turn. If they're kind of going sideways, not so much. If you find some market that's not on the list, it's not a big extreme. For example, Jeff and I were talking before the show about gold dropped $85 a day. Although it's not on the list unofficially, I'm going to tell you to watch the gold because that might be turning tomorrow due to Mercury retrograde. Anyway, we have the new moon next weekend, and next weekend we also have Mercury cycle for corn, soybeans, wheat, and that's my forecast for now. And if you don't know me, I've been doing this. Actually, I'm going to have to update this next year. I'm pushing 50 years. This says 45. I started working on this stuff back in college in the early 70s. Made enough money to buy a membership on the Chicago Board Options Exchange in 1975. I also was traded on the Chicago Board of Trade. Did that sort of thing for 12 years. And now I'm still doing my letter, which I just had my 46th anniversary of my market letter. So give me a call. Be happy to help you. Looking forward to your call. Here I am in beautiful Naples, Florida, 239-594-3939. That's 239-594-3939. Or you can Skype me at nwinski@yahoo.com. Same address for my email. Contact me before the holidays get started there so you don't get distracted. You can cost yourself a whole month of this great forecasting. I'm not doing this stuff. The planets are doing it. So you don't have to be smart to do this. You just have to have a smart forecasting model. Looking forward to helping some of the folks there, Jeff. Everybody have a happy Thanksgiving and happy holidays.
Norm, happy Thanksgiving to you too. Great statistics month after month, and we'll see you back in a couple of weeks.
Thank you very much, Jeff.